Former Michigan Congressman and former chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Pete Hoekstra. Congressman, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
So we should point out that Jim Comey has also agreed to testify before the Senate Intelligence Committee. That will be a public hearing. But what are your expectations in terms of this meeting today between Jim Comey and Jason Chaffetz?
I'm not expecting a lot to come out of this meeting. I think that now with the appointment of Mueller as a special counsel looking into this, I think it's going to get very, very hard for Congress to dig deep into this. They're going to be confronted continually by the statement from the Justice Department, maybe from Mueller, that says, wait a minute, we've got an ongoing investigation here, and if you take this into Congress, you're going to be stepping all over our investigation. So I think it's going to be very, very difficult for Senator Burr, for Jason Chaffetz to get much more information. But it's been full of surprises so far, so we'll see what happens.
Well, you wonder then maybe that's a positive so that Congress can work on the domestic agenda while the special prosecutor handles this ongoing investigation.
Well, that's exactly right. I think that's probably what the American people want. Is they want the tax reform, they want the economy to grow, they want to see what's going to happen with health care. Obviously, this trip that the president has to the Middle East is putting a focus on the threats that we face internationally, the stuff going on with North Korea. There's a lot of stuff going on that needs to be dealt with way beyond what I think most people view as the scope of the firing of the director of FBI that Republicans and Democrats both didn't like.
Right.
What do you do, Congressman Stegan McDowell, but in terms of the leaks that are coming out in the press, namely the Washington Post and the New York Times, every day it's something else. It's Friday as President Trump was leaving for this extended, his first overseas trip, it was how he referred to Jim Comey when he was talking to Sergei Lavrov at the White House. Again, do you expect, if the leaks then start coming from the investigation that Robert Mueller is doing as well, that creates a major headache for the presidency during the summer?
No, absolutely. The leaks are it's impossible to deal with them. You don't know how good they are. You don't know how accurate they are. You don't know what the context is of 10, 15 words coming out of the White House, coming out of the Justice Department, coming out of Mueller. Oh no, leaks are absolutely they destroy any momentum that the president may have on his domestic agenda or the foreign policy agenda. And I'm hoping that Director Mueller has the ability to kind of contain his investigation. And, the president's going to have to get a hold of what's going on in the executive branch. Otherwise, he's going to have a long, hot summer.
So, Congressman, this is Lee Carter. We did a focus group over the weekend where we were asking voters, Americans that were evenly split between Republicans and Democrats, what they thought about this whole scandal with Russia. And when you hear Republicans talk about it, they say there's much ado about nothing. They say that they don't know what to believe. On the other side, Democrats are saying that there's something there. There's smoke, there's fire, there's collusion. And you ask specifically what they're concerned about, and they can't necessarily answer the question. How do you think that the president and the White House can fight this when people aren't even sure what it is that they're accusing him of?
Well, I think that's exactly right. I mean, there's now no crimes have been alleged. I think the most effective method for the president to use to fight this is to push his agenda. Get specific on tax reform, work with Paul Ryan, work with Mitch McConnell, work with Chuck Schumer to actually outline a tax plan that has a reasonable chance of passing Congress. Get this health care thing behind us. Get that done. Talk about economic growth. The thing that silences the critics and pushes us to the sideline is the president actually going out and getting things done. We're seeing this over the weekend where on much of the networks the focus has been on his foreign travel.
Right. And that's what we're going to be covering this morning. We will see what happens next in terms of the domestic agenda. Congressman, good to have you on the program this morning. Thanks so much.
Good to be with you. Thank you.